First of all, I want to welcome everyone this morning to Breakfast with Bakke Norman. This is, I don't know, our fifth or sixth event like this. We do them every few months and on a range of topics. And this morning's topic is Western Wisconsin real estate update, which looking at those of you in the audience that I know, everybody's familiar with the real estate industry here in Western Wisconsin. Just a little information about how this is going to work today. We're going to have our panelists speak, and following that we'll kind of have a panel discussion where you folks will have an opportunity to ask some questions, and hopefully we can provide, the panelists can provide some answers for that. And when we do that section of the program, I'm going to repeat the questions that you asked because we videotape this, and we throw it up on YouTube on our Bakke Norman channel, and that's right next to channel 11 that comes out of the cities. So, and then a little information about an upcoming, our next Breakfast with Bakke Norman. That's going to be held actually at historically, these have been held at WITC, but we've got construction going on at WITC, and so we're out here this morning. And then the next one's actually going to be held at the golf course here in New Richmond, so that I can arrange to make sure that we can golf after we get done with that. So the next one's on business transitions, and at that one we've got Jeremy Price, who some of you may know, who's from the Wisconsin Business Development Corporation, talking about SBA financing. Ben Flodemish from Simmon Flodemish and Ornstein, that's here in town. Ben's going to be talking a little bit about business valuation and structures. Steve Bowman, who works for Business and Estate Advisors, which actually is the company that manages our 401k. He's from up in Rice Lake and is going to talk about structuring retirement plans and insurance options for funding buy-sell agreements. And finally, Bridget Finke in our office is going to talk a little bit about buy-sell agreements as well. So that particular seminar has a little bit of a business transition focus to it, and again, that's going to be held out at the golf course. And unlike the other events where we have just the breakfast, when we get done with the program out there, we're going to play a little golf. So that should be fun. This morning's program, we're kind of covering all of the bases. Lisa Peterson's here from Fidelity National Title Group. It's kind of the title insurance issues and aspects with respect to real estate. Seth Sundin here from Dairy State Bank brings the banking aspect. Adam Jarko from our office, some legal comments with respect to real estate. And finally, Joe Murray, who is, as I would think of it, the lobbyist for the Wisconsin Realtors Association. And I heard Lisa trying to engage him just before we started here on some issues that the title insurance industry is looking at and has some concern about, that she'd like to talk to him about on some issues down in Madison. So I think we've got kind of a range of speakers, all of which are involved with the real estate side of things. And, you know, you can look at I happen to be on the St. Croix Economic Development Corporation board, and every month we sponsor a economic dashboard that comes out and kind of talks about the various statistics here in western Wisconsin. And you know, I look at those statistics and I read the you know, the business section of the St. Paul Pioneer Press. I look at some other things online just to talk to kind of see what the economy is doing and that type of thing. But then for me, it's a lot more. I like to see things a lot more concrete, and so I look at what real estate's doing in Baldwin, Wisconsin, because that's where I live. And in my neighborhood, there hasn't been a whole bunch of change with respect to what's happening in the real estate market. But there have been 3 houses that are within view of my front door, and one house across the street happened to be an estate. So that went up for sale. House kitty corner from my house that's on the corner, that was in a foreclosure, so that was up for sale. And then not directly across the street, but just down 2 houses in the middle of the block across the street, another house went up for foreclosure. And so I observed this kind of happening in the neighborhood, and the house across the street that was in the estate, that was up for sale for about 45 days. That was listed with a broker, and boom, that's got a closing that's coming up. The house that was kitty corner that was foreclosed, a sign never went up on that, but somebody's bought that, and that happened. And then the house that's kind of in the middle of the block, that went up, and I was thinking, you know, maybe I should look at buying that house, and about the time that I looked at that, which was less than 30 days from when the sign went up, that house was sold, and that was bought by somebody who's remodeling it, and they've bought other houses that they've kind of bought from a foreclosure, done some remodeling, and they've got two of them, and they're just going to live in whichever one doesn't sell first. So they're going to sell one and then move into the other one. They're living in a different house in Hammond right now, but all of those kind of turned around in relatively short order. So that gives me a little bit of optimism about what's happening here in western Wisconsin. And I don't know about you folks and what you're seeing, but that's what my on-the-ground view is from Baldwin, Wisconsin. So hopefully that things are starting to turn around. So I think without any further ado, we'll begin, and at least I see Seth on the screen first, so away we go. Seth, you're up.